We have had just a couple of flakes briefly right around the Cleveland area. Nothing that's really going to impact us too much. We are, again, mostly dry. We're going to see changes, though, tonight and into tomorrow. Winter weather advisories go into place for everyone at midnight. We'll see those expiring at 1 p.m. For some areas south and west, lake effect areas will likely hold on to those until 7 p.m. as we get a system snow transitioning to more lake effect through the day on Tuesday. Winter weather advisories stretch from the plains where the system is currently all the way out towards the east coast. So there's a good portion of the country that's going to get in on the action with this system as this pushes our way. We're already starting to see snow move into Chicago, or excuse me, into areas of Illinois. So this is going to be pushing our way as we go through the day. In the meantime, plenty of cloud cover around. Temperatures continue to struggle. We'll drop back into the 20s tonight. That chance for snow is going to be on the increase, especially after midnight and heading into tomorrow morning. So as we get up tomorrow morning with that weather impact alert, we're likely to wake up to snow on the ground. And snow still falling for many areas. So everyone's going to get in on this snow. We're likely going to need some time in the morning to shovel, to brush off the cars, to kind of get things going, get everybody bundled up. Definitely expecting impacts to the morning commute. We'll have to keep a close eye on schools as well. Plan on extra time as we go through tomorrow morning. We'll time this out with that National Design Mart hour by hour forecast. Again, as we get some snow to move in, it'll be slow to fall at first, but by about midnight and on, that's going to be falling. Temperatures will be below freezing, so what falls will likely stick with the temperatures being cold and it being the overnight hours. So we'll get some steady snow to develop through the rest of the overnight. Some heavier pockets of snow will be possible. We'll fast forward to 6 a.m. At this point, we're looking at snow on the ground, and again, still good, steady, consistent snow falling. Some pockets of heavier snow possible at 6 a.m. and kind of through that rush hour, we're still on the possibility of some heavier pockets of snow. As we go through kind of those mid to late morning hours, we do get a little bit of a transition. That steadier snow is going to start to push off to the east, and we get more lake effect snow that's going to be rushing in to replace that system snow. So the focus for the rest of the day is going to shift to lake effect primarily through the afternoon hours. Into the evening commute, still a chance we could have some lake effect that lingers and causes a few issues, but overall, that evening commute for most of us should be much better than the morning commute. Again, everyone's going to get in on the snow with us. It's not just those lake effect areas. A blanket 2 to 4 inches is going to be possible for most of us. Locally, we could have some totals over 5 inches for a few locations, especially where we get some of that extra lake effect snow to fall. So that's going to be our weather impact alert for Tuesday. Rest of that Union Home Mortgage forecast, we do have below average temperatures as we go through the rest of that first week of December. We'll see a chance for some additional snow Wednesday night into Thursday, and then we'll watch that weekend very closely.
We are turning our attention now to the incoming snow. Aaron White here with that weather impact alert.
Yeah, we're talking about a pretty good snow system coming in here later tonight, most of it after midnight.
Okay.
So this evening, nothing to worry about. It's just going to be cloudy here, temperatures in the 30s. But tomorrow morning, different story, because we're going to be talking about quite a bit of snow here across central and southern Ohio. And thankfully, it's all snow. We're not dealing with any ice with this one, but the snow, of course, will still cause some issues here for tomorrow morning, especially for the morning commute. So give yourself some extra time here. You may want to leave early, as we are going to be seeing some light to, at times, moderate snowfall building in here through the early morning hours and getting closer to about 5, 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. Still looking at some snow before things really do start to wind down as we get into the later morning hours, and especially for tomorrow afternoon. Once 10 o'clock rolls around in the morning, the snow's going to be out of here. So it's going to be really overnight into early tomorrow morning where we are tracking the snowfall here. And like I said, it's going to be all snow. Any potential for ice, well, that's going to be more so as we go into really later into the evening hours here, as we go into tomorrow evening. And really for much of the morning hours here for your Tuesday before things do start to clear out of here. So all snow for tomorrow. Any potential for icing, that's going to be well to our south. So again, nothing to worry about with ice. It's going to be all snow, but we are still tracking potential for some decent snowfall amounts before we get some quieter weather here by Wednesday and Thursday. And then we are also tracking another couple of systems that could bring us some light snow looking ahead to the weekend. But for right now, things are all quiet. Nothing to worry about here on the radar picture. We just have some clouds building in here across Ohio. Really cloudy skies all across the region. But as we zoom things out, here's our next storm system building in from the south and west, and you can already see a lot of snow here across parts of Missouri, back into Kansas. They've already seen 2 to 4 inches of snowfall here today, so that's a sign of what's to come for us tonight into tomorrow. That snow's clearing out of Kansas, still moving through Missouri. You can see the track of it making its way towards the east. That's going to bring all that snow for us later on tonight. So as we go through the hour-by-hour forecast here, by 9 p.m., could start to see a little bit of that snow building into areas around Kenton down towards Springfield. Later on, by midnight, starting to see more of the snow building in. And what's going to be a concern here tonight for potential for less snowfall is an area of some drier air that could actually knock totals down to maybe closer to an inch for a few locations. But I think for the most of us, as we go through the forecast, a general 2 to 4 inches of accumulation will be likely here through tonight into tomorrow morning. But like I said, for a couple places where we get some of that drier air, that number could be closer to 1 inch of snowfall. So we are tracking a system building here that's going to bring quite a bit of snowfall to the area. But then things do start to quiet down here, at least as we look ahead to Wednesday and Thursday. Highs only in the 30s. Tracy, still a very cold 7-day forecast. But, you know, it is December now, and so snow and cold seems pretty reasonable.
A major winter storm moving into the Midwest, eventually heading east over the week. Also some ice possible as we head into the southern plains in the Mid-South, and a lot of Arctic air out there. Millions of us feeling the chill today. So starting off December 1st on the very cold side there, Minneapolis at 21 for your high today, 22 in Des Moines, below freezing there in St. Louis, 30s all the way over toward Buffalo, and even in the Mid-South we have some temperatures really not climbing out of the 30s. So very cold out there, cold here as we head into the west as well. In general, all of us really feeling the chill. Taking a look here at the beginnings of that winter storm, it will be pushing into places like Chicago over toward Cleveland today, and then pushing eastward as we head through about Wednesday of this week. Really messy weather as we head into the southern plains, the Mid-South, all the way from, say, Oklahoma over toward Memphis. You could be getting at least some icy conditions as we head into the overnight hours in through your Tuesday morning. So we do have watches and warnings up here in purple. These are those winter weather advisories stretching all the way really from the plains through the Midwest and Ohio Valley up into the Mid-Atlantic and the Northeast. So a very messy pattern setting up as many of you will be traveling home for the Thanksgiving holiday or from the Thanksgiving holiday. Taking a look here at the severe threat for your Monday, the good news is no severe weather is expected across the U.S. today. Let's take you coast by coast, and we are looking at the 40s from Seattle, 30s there in Spokane, very chilly air. Boise, you'll be in the 40s, and then heading into the southwest and the southern California, San Diego in the 60s, Phoenix, you'll be in the 70s. You're the warm spot. Denver, chilly air for you today at 37 degrees. Even the Lone Star State stays pretty cold here with the 40s and 50s warming up there toward the end of the week. And as I mentioned, in the Mid-South, Little Rock, you'll be in the 30s today. New Orleans, you'll be in the 60s. Atlanta in the 50s with rainy conditions for you. And then heading into the Ohio Valley, the Mid-South, also looking very cold out there with the 30s and 40s. Heading into the upper Midwest, very cold from the Twin Cities over toward Grand Rapids. You're not getting out of the 20s today. That goes for you there in Iowa. And heading into New England, also looking at some 30s and 40s. We've got the 40s in the Mid-Atlantic from DC to Norfolk.